We're starting back at the night hacking stand at Java 1. One of the last interviews of the day. The hub is buzzing. Second take on the Adopt a JSR panel. So I'm Heather Van Cura, one of the leaders of the Adopt a JSR initiative with the Java user groups from all over the world. So I have some of the great Java user groups here with me today that are attending Java 1, and we're going to talk a little bit about Adopt a JSR. And thanks for all the comments from the live audience here. Appreciate those. All right, so let's start with Bert here on my left. Bert, welcome.
Thank you.
From the NL JUG, nominated this year for Outstanding Adopt a JSR Participant for the annual JCP Awards. Congratulations on being nominated. That's awesome. Why don't you share with us a little bit about the initiative that you started in your Java user group?
Yeah, so we just started out this year by joining the Adopt a JSR program. So at the beginning we were kind of looking of where to start. So, you know, a few chats about it, where to get started. We did organize a hackathon on JSR 371, where at one of our business partners we gathered around about 20 people, hacked on the spec, gave feedback, reviewed some of the spec, and we had a Q&A with Ivar Grimstad, one of the expert members. This year at JFL we'll be doing a hackathon on the Java 9 spec, and we're looking forward to keep contributing and seeing what other stuff we can do.
Yeah, you got started pretty quickly, so was that helpful in the beginning, having a little bit of an overview from like one of the leaders? Did that help you get started? What were some of the things that made you decide to get involved?
Well, actually two of our community members, Maurice Chateau and Ilko Meuter, reached out to me and said, well, we would like to help. How can we help and where can we start? So I picked it up with them, and we just find a way to start and some topics we liked to review. So that's how we got started.
Well, I hope you continue for next year. So look forward to seeing what you continue to do with the initiative in your community.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we also have Mercedes Wiss from Guatemala Java user group, and we actually just met in person this year in preparing for the session that you did as part of Java User Group Sunday on Adopt a JSR. You did it together with Bob next to you from Chicago. So why don't you share with us a little bit about what you've done with Adopt a JSR in your local community and some of the plans that you have for the future.
Okay, well, we are trying to adopt a JSR this year, but when I tell to the audience in my conference, wasn't really a successful story because we made many things that we don't need to do for Adopt a JSR. So we will try to improve and be a phoenix, like I said in my conference, and start to doing right that thing. So we need really choose what Adopt a JSR we will try to work with the community, because at the beginning we only did that with the staff community, don't involve all the people. So we will change of leader of the Adopt a JSR project. I contact other one for really can leading in the project, and we'll try to involve of the community now for be a successful one. No more a fail story.
Well, I wouldn't say that yours was a failure. It was just one of the key things, and one of the points that you communicated in your session, I think, was that it's important to communicate, right? So you decide in your user group that you want to participate in the initiative, and it's good, you know, to communicate within your local community, but when you come together and decide what you want to do, it's important to engage with the expert group and the JSR spec lead just to make sure they're in agreement with what you want to do, and they can give you some guidance and kind of steer you in terms of what they're looking for and what their needs are. So, you know, that's a key step. Just as I always say, it's like a two-way street. The communication goes both ways. So you get your interest and communicate, and then just make sure you're in communication. And it's a learning lesson, right? To know that, you know, things will work better if you're in constant communication and there's that feedback loop to give them what they're looking for. So I think you're on the right track, and I enjoyed your presentation. I think you did a great job, you and Bob. It was a very enjoyable session. I think the attendees enjoyed it. So Bob, why don't you share with us a little bit about what you're doing in Chicago? So Chicago Java User Group, actually, you were nominated last year for Outstanding JSR Participant for the JCP Annual Awards. You didn't win last year, but you were nominated again this year, and you did win the award this year, Chicago JUG. So that's awesome. I said that, to Bert, keep going and continue on. There's hope for next year, right? So you've been doing a great job, awesome job. I've been to Chicago twice this year already, participated in one of your events. So why don't you share with us what you've been doing?
Sure. So, I mean, our journey started really like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's funny because Freddie Gimme, our community leader, went to the talk by Martin Verberg on exactly what me and Mercedes had talked about. So we were fortunate to have that knowledge going into it. We had trying to figure out which ones we were going to adopt, and fortunately, we have Josh Yu now in our community who's very active in the expert groups and started off with the JSF session about 2 years ago. And we've kind of continued to have events promoting what's going on in the spec, talking about what's new, then having our members come in and hack on it. So I mean, having the membership come in and hack, you get people that they don't come to the meetings where they want to hear somebody speak because they want to be hands-on. So we engage a whole different audience within our user group when we do that. So, and we were fortunate because we're getting into Java 9 very heavily now to have yourself and Charlie Hunt come and do hackathons, and it was fun. I mean, you see in the pictures, everybody's heads down working on their computers, seeing if their apps are working on Java 9. There's so much kind of fear out there that, hey, once you break up the JVM, nothing's going to work anymore. So having the sessions like that, getting the feedback from the membership is important to get back so that we have a good product going forward. With Josh, we've been doing a lot of online stuff. So the other thing I'd like to plug is that when we do our virtual adopt sessions, you can call in even if you're not in Chicago and talk to us. We'll talk through specs. We'll take feedback. We'll talk about JIRAs. And these are all things that we can get back to the spec leads to help make the specs better and test things out.
Yes, that sounds good. Actually, I was talking to Josh last night about planning out the next online meeting that we're going to do and what the topics are. So I always try to attend those if I can. And I see in the audience we even have some fellow Chicago JUG members. Jonathan's here. So from the Java 9 hackathon we did, the hack session we had, it's important to note too, not everyone dove right into the hands-on stuff, but a portion of the audience stayed, and the ones who did stay, being Chicago, a big, financial market, there were some who really wanted to dig into the details and look at how they could improve performance. So we were there till very late with our gracious host, with IMF Trading. Thanks, Jonathan. Right. So that was an awesome event. So I guess we want to hear too from one of the founding adopted JSR members, the Java user group. So Java in Brazil, we have Otavio here. So why don't you share with us what you've been doing?
Yeah, basically, I'm using. So Java and London Java community started this project that adopt JSR, and currently, so Java help a lot of Java user group in Brazil to this product. So we have around 22 JUGs that is run these products in Brazil. So we are helping with feedbacks, writing codes, open pull requests to JSRs, also doing hackathon there too. So basically, we helping some JSRs such as measurement API, money API, CDI 2.0, beam validation 1. That's really nice because when I started Adopt JSR, I was invited to become a spec group in several JSRs, several specifications. And right now, I'd like to create my own specification next year. That's really nice to start to participate in specification in JCP.
All right, I have to share the microphone, so that's great. Thanks for the update on that. So yeah, the thing I wanted to say too is participating in Adopt a JSR, it really is a good way to get started being involved in the JCP and getting to know some of the JSRs, the Java specification requests. So It's been going for a few years now. We have close to 50 Java user groups who are participating, which is great, but we have many more who can participate, and the mailing lists are all open to the public, so you're free to pick a JSR that you're interested in and then start to follow the discussions there and jump in and comment when you see something that you think you have some expertise in that area or use case you could provide to the expert group and the spec lead. I know that they appreciate any feedback that they get. I see I have a spec lead in the audience. Andres, he can say yes, he's giving us a thumbs up on that. So I want to thank all of the Java user groups who are participating in Adopt a JSR, and particularly our panelists who've been doing such a great job. Thank you. I really appreciate your efforts to coordinate the initiatives in your local community and work together with us to make Java better. Anybody want to final comments? Anything you want to say?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Adopt the JSR rules. You should do it.
Happy hacking, everyone.
Yeah, WSI is rock.
Yeah, you can learn several good things adopting a JSR. That is my experience.
Yay!
Yeah.